What's going on, everybody? You know who it is. I'm back and I'm rocking the fuck on. So, today I'm gonna discuss the book by Bill O'Reilly about Jesus, killing Jesus. Well, some people, I just bought this book 2 months ago, even less, like 7 weeks ago, so middle of February, and it was not very expensive, but I was interested because I want to read more about Jesus, whom he really was. Even though I finished Jewish school and Jesus was a Jew, I didn't really study that much about him. So I thought that I'm gonna learn more from that book. And I didn't really. I learned a little bit. Now, first of all, book has some errors in it. For example, it said that when Jesus died, he was 36 years old. But we all know that when he really died, he was not 36, but 33 years old. But if you think about 36, 3 plus 6 is 9. And 9 is a magic number, if you all know. But he was 33 years old when Jesus died. He was 33. Another thing that I read from that book, I can tell you. A lot of Jewish people, they hate Jesus. They like to demonize him, they say Christianity is stupid. They all hate Christianity. Most of the Jews, not me though. Because I don't know, based on what I read, I think Jesus was a good man actually. And I don't even understand all of these Jewish people hate him. He was saying the truth that, it was kind of bullshit, that he said that he is the son of God. And people say, how arrogant, fuck you, But so fucking what? He didn't say anything bad. He was curing people, giving bread to the poor, taking care of others. He didn't do anything bad, And so what that he was arrogant? So fucking what? Shut the fuck up. If you don't like arrogance, so what? To me, it's not a big deal. It's not like he was bothering you to leave, taking money from you, shit like that. Just sit on your fucking place and shut the fuck up. You fucking stupid Jews. Oh fucking bullshitters. Fuck them all. That's what my response is. Because I just don't get it why they all hated him. It's just some bullshit. He didn't do anything bad at all. But yet, when he was saying some stuff, and it's not like he was saying, hey, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. He was just saying real thing, And everybody hated him. Why? I didn't get it. I didn't understand it at all. And yet, I don't agree with everything Jesus did, though. For example, and I kind of get it in a way, but I still don't agree with it. For example, when in the end of the book they were talking about the Last Supper, when Peter did the right thing. He was trying to stand up for Jesus. And he was saying this, guys, don't fuck with my man, I'm gonna fuck you up. This is what you should do. And he was trying to do the right thing. But just no. We still need to be kind and good. And I'm gonna take this suffering. Because I'm a king of Jews, I'm son of God, and I'm right, and fuck them all. But I'm not gonna fight them back. You never know if he probably could have done it. He's no, I'm not gonna do it. And that's kind of Jewish thing to do, because I read a lot about in Jewish history, same thing Jews did in Holocaust. Instead of fighting back to Germans and try, to run like crazy, so that I would do, and act like Peter, fuck you, I'm gonna fight till the last spill of blood. They're just okay, we all gonna die. It's really Jewish thing to do. And Jesus, since he had 100% of the Jewish blood in him, and this is a proof that I'm 75% Jewish, because I don't think like a Jew, This is 25% of Russian blood and he shows off, regardless of what you motherfuckers say, okay? But anyway, basically he just decided to take the death. And they were beating the shit out of him for no reason, which was stupid. you know, took the beatings and everything, and they treated him like shit. And the funny part, you know, like Jewish people, they pass the guilt of killing Jesus on Romans. Well, see the interesting thing that according to that book, this is what happened really, according to the book, right? All these Pharisees, they hated Jesus because of his teachings, because of what he's all about. Even though he was not saying or doing anything wrong, they still all hated him, right? Maybe they hated him because he said that he was the Son of God and he wasn't. In my opinion, he was just a prophet, he was just a great ideologist. And I don't understand, like, why to hate him, you know? Okay, maybe he was talking shit, but so fucking what? Big fucking deal. It's not the reason to hate him. He still did a lot of good things. He was curing people. He was trying to help people. He was talking to everyone and being everywhere, you know. So what did he was saying? He was the Son of God, he is the Messiah. You know, he lived in the ancient times, you know, where people, you know, were all thinking about gods and shit. Because they didn't know shit and they were uneducated. And they didn't know science and everything. And they didn't have technology and stuff. That's why, they, you know, they were like primitive. But you know, for that time, you know, even though Jesus was talking some stupid shit like he's the Son of God, which is bullshit. So what? Fucking big deal. It's not a reason to hate him. So fucking what? Let's face it, Jesus did a lot of good things. There is no reason to hate him. He didn't do anything bad to people. And when I was reading, I'm like, why the fuck they killed him? It doesn't even make sense. It's so fucking schizophrenic, you know? Some bullshit. For real. It's just my opinion. They shouldn't kill him at all. Like, that doesn't make sense. And then it's like the funny part. When he was trialed at night after Last Supper. And you know, Judah basically, who was a thief. And I don't know why did he got him there. You know, that was his mistake. And the funny part is that he knew that, you know, Judah is gonna betray him. If you knew that, you should just, you know, fuck that asshole, you know, fuck him, get him out of here. But, you know, it's all about your fairy tales, I guess, you know. You cannot take this shit seriously, but Judah basically betrayed Jesus for some money, because he was all about money. There's Judah. And he told on Jesus for all this Pharisees who hated him anyway. And they trialed him, you know. This bunch of Jewish people took Jesus whom they hated, and that's it. And then Pontius Pilate, he was just a bitch, you know. He didn't do shit. He was just like, Jewish people brought Jesus here and say, look, this guy is, you know, he's an asshole, kill him. And he's like, okay, let's beat the shit out of him, but why should I kill him? Let's just beat him up and then, you know, we'll trial him again. And then they beat the shit out of Jesus. Then he was there, all in bruises, barely alive that morning on Passover. It's like it was April 7th, year 30, according to the book, you know. And then they were like, well, need to kill him. And all these Jews say, kill him, kill him, kill him. No explanation why, no nothing. And Pontius Pilate, who didn't know anything, who didn't think about anything, he's like, okay, let's kill this motherfucker, I don't care, let's just do it. They tell me to do it, I'm gonna do it. So Pontius Pilate, he was like a bitch of these Jews, you know. And this is like an interesting parallel. This is the same thing goes on right now, the same thing with Jesus. Like, you know, like right now, the same thing. All the Jewish people, all the Pharisees, they tell Americans what to do, they control the money, all the Zionists, the same thing is going on. And they'll tell other Gentiles to fight for Jews. This is like the same thing as before. The Jewish people, the Sanhedrin, they tell Romans to kill people whom they don't like. and he didn't like Jesus Christ because Jesus Christ said, fuck you, you're wrong, then that's that. And now there are a lot of Jews out there who say the same thing, like Brother Nathaniel, me at some point. Then there are religious Jews who said they like Rabbi Asher from Meza. That's why he defends Christianity, because, let's face it, Jesus was not wrong. He did the right thing. Sure, I don't believe in Jesus. I don't think he was a God or son of God. And we know that his dad's name was Joseph and his mother's name was Mary. But here's another interesting thing, that Jesus was the direct descendant of Abraham. And who was Abraham? He was the first Jew in the world. Because Abraham first came to the idea that there is only one God. And who was Jesus? He was direct descendant of Abraham. Now, I learned some history, I read some history, and there are a lot of interesting parallels. If you learn about Greek history, for example, the person who made Greece free in like 1830, he was a descendant of the dynasties Palaiologos and Lascarids. So you see, you're a great man if you're descendants of other great men. So it's like the genes, you know. There are just certain limited number of people who just control the world, who like great influence on other people. And the rest of the people, they just sheep, you know. So, and Jesus clearly was a prophet. He was clearly the direct descendants of Abraham. So, and I would say that he can be classified as a Jewish Messiah for real. Because, you know, even though he was not directly son of God, but there was some holy in him, you know. He was a great ideologist. Just like this man right here. Like Tupac Shakur, I put Jesus and Tupac on the same path, you know. It's like another great man, just different ways. Just a lot of them, you know. So, but Jesus was one of them. He was a man, he was not God. And he was talking shit and he was saying he's the son of God. Again, my opinion, he shouldn't be killed for that, because during that time, if you like, you know, if you're an influential person, if you know, if you're a strong leader like Jesus clearly was, you can say things like that, even though it's not true. And you know, Jesus still died on the cross, and he was mortal man like all of us. He was a great influential leader and he didn't do anything wrong. And I don't understand why all the Jews hated him. Like, that's some bullshit right there. Because he didn't do anything bad, you know. Like, I read the book, I never read anything bad that Jesus did. And people were getting mad at him over things like his arrogance or whatever. And he was like saying that, you know, the good die young and the great people die young, and he was all about helping people and letting horses go and healing people and talking to prostitutes and trying to help people out. He didn't do anything bad for real. And then people kill him. Fuck that. That's all I'm gonna say. I didn't like it. I didn't like the way they treated him. That was wrong. And Romans, like I said, Pontius Pilate, he's just a bitch, you know. Because no opinion, he's just a bitch. For real, he didn't do anything. And saying that it's his fault is stupid too. Because, you know, he was just a bitch of these Jewish people who hated Jesus, who decided to kill Jesus Christ. Sure, Jewish people didn't kill Christ directly. They didn't say, hey, you know. But they hated him. Because, see, Judah told Sanhedrin, you know, hey, you know you hate Jesus, give me some money, I will tell on him. Then Sanhedrin kidnapped him, and then they brought him to Pontius Pilate, and they told Pontius, kill him. This is what he did. He just listened to these people. Because he was just a bitch. Like Pontius Pilate, he was just a bitch, and it's not his fault, you know. He just listened to what people tell him. So, and that kind of sucks, you know. Because that was fucked up. It shouldn't be that way. It's bad. So that's what my outlook on that book. That's what I think based on what I read. And I know a lot of Jews out there, if they hear what I say, they're gonna get mad. But I don't give a shit. Peace the fuck out. Later.